Unbound Worlds Apart is an action-adventure, horror, isometric, third-person sandbox shooter platformer where you play as the only competent person in the entire game. Also, you're a child. Now, is it worth buying? Shit, I don't know. Why are you asking me? Your abilities minus portals are pretty standard for this type of platformer. Wall jump, dash, double dash, you get the point. The abilities are pretty evenly spread throughout the game, so it always feels fresh. Obviously, the big draw for this game are the portals, which are as original as they come. The game doesn't bother with any bullshit, giving you the ability to open these portals within minutes. They don't exactly work as portals, but that's what I'm gonna call them. These little gateways allow you to use the properties of other worlds to get through the game. They can affect you, enemies, or objects in different ways. Sometimes portals will freeze or otherwise stop enemies, while other ones will bring the enemies right to you. You can invert gravity, get turned tiny, or my favorite, turn into a rock and smash shit. This is a pretty challenging platformer. Death is hardly a setback with constant checkpoints and no loading screens, so you can get right back to failing the same jump over and over and over and over
Did I ever
and
tell you
over.
the definition of insanity? Like the way you are looking at it.
Most sections of the game will introduce a new mechanic, then teach you how that mechanic works before ramping up the difficulty until it reaches its peak. Then you start it all over again. There are a few boss fights which equate to avoiding getting killed until you can do some damage. Do that 3 times, and of course, you'll win. Or they'll start phase 2. Sprinkled around the map are these lost villagers that are completely optional, but they provide even more challenge if you're into that. Unbound clearly takes heavy inspiration from Ori. Everywhere you look, you'll see handcrafted art in the background, foreground, and the midground. Each portal type has its own art style and world that you probably won't even notice. Based on my half-assed research, it seems all of their art was done by one person, Olga Siab? I don't know. Most of the friendly NPCs look pretty similar, except for Lyra, since she's from a different world. Wait, half of these people are from different worlds. Why do they all look like this? Enemies are very spiky. Most of these guys have some sort of spikes coming out of them. Enemies really aren't the biggest danger, the environment is. Whether it's spikes laid out like barbed wire or just simple water, you're gonna be dying to the environment way more than enemies. I'll be honest, I'm not the man to ask about soundtracks. To put my taste in music in perspective, one of my favorite songs is a mixtape of ear-piercing sounds played at random intervals. That being said, the use of a dynamic soundtrack is always appreciated, and for what it's worth, the music sounds good to me. We start off the story with, just our entire village getting massacred and our mother getting killed right in front of us. You are Soli, a kid who apparently is more capable than the multiple powerful wizards you meet along the way. First step in saving the universe? Getting a wizard named Brahm out of his masturbation closet. After the world was invaded by the demons, he sealed himself away. You have to find some magical crystals to unlock his door. Get used to this, you're gonna be repeating it a lot. After getting in, what kind of excuse does Brahm make for sealing himself away while people were getting slaughtered? None at all. He simply states that he did in fact seal himself away, then sends you on another fetch quest. A fetch quest for what, you ask? Oh, just some more crystals. He will then open up a portal to Scenaria because there's another powerful wizard who can help there. Oh, what? You expected him to come through with you and help? Clearly, you haven't gotten what kind of game this is yet. When I said you are the only capable person, I meant it. Zorana is the head of the Mages Order, and she is helplessly trapped. Only the power of magical crystals. Alright, I'll stop. While exploring the College of Winterhold, you find out that all of this was pretty much caused by the Mage's Order poking around where they don't belong. You save Zarana, who agrees to help you and Braum fight Arwen, the big bad guy. But first, you gotta get some crystals. I shit you not. Finally, here we are, ready to kill Arwen and end this once and for all. With 2 powerful allies by your side, this should be a cakewalk. Zarana, having learned nothing from her mistakes, wants to immediately start doing experiments once he is dead. Braum is... Wait, what the fuck? They have to stay behind to make sure the portal doesn't collapse behind you? Yeah, as I said, only competent person in this game. You alone head through the portal and stumble upon a broken bridge which needs to be repaired. With some magic crystals! Yeah, literally every objective in this game, apart from killing Arwen, boils down to finding crystals to solve a problem. Arwen himself is less of a boss and more of a parkour challenge. After the first phase, you discover something incredible. Lyra pushes you out of the way and takes the blow, meaning someone other than you did something useful. Woo! 10 out of 10. Anyways, now you have to directly damage Arwen and eventually kill him. It's a solid and challenging boss fight, though Arwen himself really doesn't do much during it. The, darkness tries to take you, but Lyra does something and pulls you into another world, I assume. Wait, how the hell do I get out of here? Let me start this section off with the obvious. This game takes heavy inspiration from Hollow Knight and Ori. By inspiration, I mean straight up copying certain aspects. I mean, look at the main menu screen, the map screen, the graphics, certain mechanics. The game doesn't attempt to hide the things it straight up copied. I mean, come on, it's basic knowledge from middle school that when you copy and paste, you gotta change up the words a bit. Now personally, I'm fine with it, since most parts of the game are original, but I had to mention it. Certain parts of the game are pure trial and error, rather than skill or game knowledge, but it's not a huge problem since checkpoints are numerous with no loading screens. You may notice some shitty hitboxes, which can be infuriating, but most are just fine. The biggest con of this game is the story. You stumble from fetch quest to fetch quest doing all of the work while everyone stands around doing nothing. There is story to be found if you enjoy text-based exposition dumps. Even if you do understand the story, it just isn't that good. That may be a game breaker for you, but for me the story doesn't matter all that much. What does matter is the extremely short runtime. Unless you're blind and deaf, this will take around 4 hours to beat. It has very little replay value unless you really enjoyed the gameplay. There are these lost villagers hidden around, but they aren't enough to justify playing the game again. $20 is a pretty steep price for a 4-hour game that you most likely won't play again. The game goes on sale all the time, even going as low as $9 though. I very much enjoyed this game. It's a great, challenging platformer with a pretty unique gimmick. It doesn't play as smooth as Ori and is not as deep as Hollow Knight, but for an indie game made by like 10 people, it's very much worth a play. If $20 is too much, I would highly recommend waiting for a sale and picking it up. Final, official Uber #1 Gamer Boy Testosterone Ultimate Gaming Score? 9 out of 10. And don't give me shit for rating this game higher than Elden Ring. One is an indie game from a developer who's made one game before, the other is a massive open-world AAA game. They're on completely different playing fields. You're gonna tell me how to run my own fucking channel, you actual piece of shit. This has been the Bobinator 531, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Have a good one.